So we are back, we are back, we are back, we are back. Just waiting on some people to join us. And when get back, Comrade Philip Paulwell. Because ain't no stopping us now, you know. We are on the move. We are on the move, everybody. So you let me get back Sir Paulwell on the line because I'm trying to stop it. But it says ain't no stopping us now. They ain't stopping us.
Hello?
Yes, Sir Paulwell. So we are back. Because we saw the internet. We were at about 700 viewers and we saw it start dropping, giving us the warning that the internet is unstable. And that was something that we spoke about earlier to improving our broadband connection. So we were talking about solar now and that the power was in the hands of the people. Let's pick up from there.
Right. So we want you to be able to generate your own electricity at a fraction of the current cost. But not only that, in addition to enabling you to do your electricity, and remember I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
one of the benefits now of storage capacity is that you are able, while the sun is shining, to have your batteries charged up and for you to be able to have them in full force after the sun goes down.
And the batteries are much improved now.
Oh, the technology has improved dramatically and the price has come down equally.
Yes.
Right? But so we want you to be able to do that. But also, we want you to be able to be in a position to supply more than you need.
Okay.
And to sell your addition. So I, as minister, will give you a license. Just like how JPSCO has a license.
Yes.
I'll give you a license.
Individuals.
So you can sell your additional capacity to the JPSCO for money.
So let me understand that. So you're saying that if I find myself with a piece of money and decide that I want to fill my house up with solar panel, I will get a license that I can sell to JPS. So that's a business.
That is a business. And we want any individual to be in such a position to do. I had started that before, but this government really hasn't picked up on it.
Is that what you call net billing?
Net billing.
Talk to us.
The problem with the original net billing is that the reward that you would get as a seller of electricity wasn't enough incentive to make you want to spend the money to put in the additional capacity. What we are going to be doing now is what we call a feed-in tariff that will incentivize you to put in the additional capacity, because in any event, whatever you sell to JPSCO would be cheaper than they are currently getting to supply onto the grid. Yes.
So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. So currently, you have a number of what you call private power suppliers.
Yes.
And they supply the grid at various prices. We believe that solar can come in at somewhere in the region of 10 to 14 US cents to make it meaningful for you to invest in additional capacity to sell to the grid at that price.
So you'd sell to GPS at between 10 and 15 cents US.
That's correct.
And then
you're generating at a price of about 10 cents. Yeah. So you'll be able to sell to the JPSCO in a ballpark of about 10 to 15. You'll be able to raise sufficient funds from that to liquidate the capital that you had put in the system in the first place.
So we're looking at two things here. You said over 300,000 persons are stealing electricity. Household are stealing electricity in Jamaica. If we cut that, our electricity bill would be down by 20%. You're saying that if we had no solar to the system, anybody who wants to supply to GPS, what percentage will that bring down our light bill by now? So that's 20% from the stealing, what percentage would that bring us down by?
All right. So if we were to, whether by using large scale solar generators or from a system I just mentioned to you where individuals can supply the JPSO.
Mm-hmm.
The JPSO now procure electricity from the private power people at somewhere in the region of about 20 odd cents. And of course, they add their margin and the distribution cost to bring it up to 40 cents. So if you are able to generate and sell to the JPSO at 15 cents even,
right,
their price will come down substantially.
Because that's almost 10 cents less than what they're getting it from for now.
Than the average price that they're getting at now. Yes. So that is why we are projecting that if Jamaica is going to become competitive, if we are going to really be able to say that we have successfully, as we've done in telecommunications, brought down the cost, we are looking at somewhere in the region of a retail price of about 15 to 18 US cents per kilowatt hour. Now, that is substantially less than the 40 and 50 cents that we have now.
So that's over 100. So we're cutting it by half.
Absolutely. And I think if we achieve that, then I can go home and retire.
A question here, Comrade Paul. Well, our schools across Jamaica, do we have any idea what the government pays for light bill for our schools?
An enormous amount of money. Not only our schools, our government ministries.
Hold on, I'm going to go to the hospitals too, But starting with the schools, because our schools mainly operate during daytime. And our schools have large spaces on the roofs to take solar panel. What will we see our schools going fully solar under the next PNP administration?
The program that I started that was short-lived by this government of getting the entire government, starting with our schools,
yes,
to appreciate now not only conservation, but to realize that you can make money from establishing your own generation system using solar and to sell additional capacity, additional electricity to the grid. That has to become a reality. And the question you're going to ask me is, so if everybody's generating and for themselves, where is JPS going to be able to survive in this place? And
but we need to survive. Is not JPS need to survive? Is the people.
When the question was raised of me, when we were dealing with telecommunications, and somebody asked me, so how will cable and wireless survive? and my response is that cable and wireless will take care of itself.
Yes.
I am here to take care of the people.
Yes.
Right? And you see cable and wireless is still alive now.
And well.
I'm doing well.
Yes.
There are other opportunities here. You talk about electric vehicles and the need now for greater capacity to fuel artificial intelligence and those things.
Yes.
The market is going to grow. Once the price comes down, Jamaica has become a far more prosperous place. So people are still going to need a JPS score.
And our manufacturer will be able to compete on the global stage now if we have lower electricity bill.
Listen, man, it is a circle that once you start with one end showing lower prices, it is going to revolve to the benefit of everybody, including all the producers who are here. So I have no fear for JPS and others. What I want to do is to reform the system so that the ordinary Jamaica can immediately see these benefits and access them.
The present Minister of Energy loved to point fingers at you and say that you were the one who gave JPS the license that they have now and you didn't do due diligence. Respond to him.
But first of all, I wasn't the minister who gave JPS the license. I wasn't the Minister of Energy in 2001 when the license was granted. But I can't say that it wasn't my government.
Right.
Because I
Yes.
Remember at the time, the government was the sole owner and operator of the grid. And you recall those days, we would have frequent power cuts
Yes.
because the government was just not in a position to maintain the grid, to have spare capacity and so on.
Yeah.
And so in those days, when the government was negotiating to sell its shares in JPSGO to the private sector, it was a different scenario than we have today. And we pretty much had the blade and they had the handle.
Because we were begging them to take it on.
We were begging them to take it on, begging them. So at that time, you would see 20-year licenses being granted.
Yes.
Today, it's a different situation. We have the handle, and when you have the handle, you must use it in favor of your people, right? And it's not that we are going to be, reneging on agreements and we're going to be running roughshod over the private sector. But all we're saying is that our people deserve a break, and I am elected to serve the people, not to serve in a special interest or in a special company, and that has to be going forward now our mantra.
So we are looking at solar as a big thing. You was the one who brought in the wind turbine. What's their name? Upon the hill.
The Wigton Wind Farm.
Yes.
I remember when we went to the private sector. I was minister then.
Yes.
We went to the private sector and said, listen, we have
hold on. Before you're going, who was the minister in 2001? Who was the energy?
So Minister Pickersgill was there.
Oh, Bobby Pickersgill. Okay, cool. Just for information. So let's go to Wigton Wind Farm.
Wigton now, when we did a survey and found that we could viably and commercially do wind energy in Jamaica, we were trying to get the private sector to get involved and to do it. And they said, no, that thing is too risky. So we took the risk as a government.
Yes.
And we established Wigton Wind Farm. We not only did a phase 1, we did a phase 2 and a phase 3. And this government now, having come to power, see how much money was being made, decide to sell it.
Yes.
And it was sold for a good amount of money.
All right. It was sold on the open market, so any Jamaicans could have bought into it.
Yes,
now,
of course, yes.
The question is, you brought in Wigton Wind Farm as a form of renewable energy. What has this, which company this, or what has this government done as it relates to renewable since 2016?
Right, nothing much, because in addition to Wigton, I had also established the single largest solar farm at the time, and in content, Clarendon.
Yeah.
By a company called WRB, an American company.
Oh, so you didn't just do Wigton, you did more?
No, yeah, man.
Tell us about it, because them say we don't do nothing,
Well, this is nonsense. So we did. I'll tell you more than that. When we had signed the Petro-Carib agreement, of course, the U.S. was very concerned about the closeness with Venezuela and so on, and they brought us, both Prime Minister Bush and myself, we went to see then Vice President Biden. And so when they were expressing concern about Petro-Carib, we said to them, well, listen, if you want to help us on the renewable side.
Yes.
And to their credit, they did provide funding for U.S. investors to come to Jamaica, and out of that, we got the solar project at Content. Over 200 million US was invested there.
Yeah.
And then we got another wind farm in Malvern in St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
The BMR wind farm that is still there. We had actually done procurement for other renewables, which is what. So after we did the procurement, another company came on board. But it didn't come at the time when we were in office. It came during the life of the JLP government. But we did that.
But we did the contract and the arrangement and all of it.
Right. So there's nothing that this government has done even except last year they went out after 9 years ago to procure additional capacity now for solar. And but nothing has happened.
And that has not started as yet. That has not come in.
No.
So you might be the one bringing in that.
Our government will be the one to make sure that happens.
So for the term of the Andrew Wellness-led administration, they have not done anything then to renewable. They have not gotten any renewables up by themselves.
The minister last week, when he spoke 2 weeks ago, said that our current renewable capacity is 12.5% of total. That was where I left it in 2016.
So they have had zero.
They have not added anything to it.
Hallelujah. But they say, and then, Comrade Paul, well, people are questioning your capacity to deal with JPS, including the minister. You have a track record of taking us out of a monopoly. JPS is another monopoly. And
this is an easier problem
than cable and wireless. Because as you said earlier, for those who are just joining us, the cable and wireless license would have done 2038, you said?
2038. We are still today 2025.
So we'd still be in that license. Except Philip Paulwell, PJ Patterson, and the PNP was a change.
Yes, you have to pick up PJ in all of this.
Because, yes.
You know,
he gave you the latitude.
Strong support from the Prime Minister at the time, because it's not easy to go up against certain people.
And those days, cable and wireless was the powerhouse. Never a small company, was the powerhouse. Now, as we wrap up, Sir Paulwell, you said that one of your plans back then was that all government buildings and agencies would go solar. How fast you going to get that when you come back, when the PNP form the next government?
It's a no-brainer. No Minister of Finance, when I present our Minister of Finance with a proposal to fund solar for these establishments, schools and other buildings, would not see the rationale, the sense in providing budgetary support so that once you establish these facilities, you are getting a windfall from them. So I intend to go to my Minister of Finance and say, listen, it's going to cost X to get all our schools within 2 years properly solarized. And I am certain I will get the support for that, because I'll show him that in 2 years, we'll not only pay that back, but there'll be much more money coming in from the additional capacity that we're generating.
What would stop us from building these solar panels ourselves right here in Jamaica, Comrade Paulwell? I don't know the technology. Is it possible that we could put ourselves in a position to make these solar panels ourselves?
In 2014, nobody will believe this, but in 2014, I established NESOL. You've heard about NESOL?
Yes, we know about
National Energy Solutions, right?
Yes.
I took the chairman of NESOL and myself and a team to Cuba, because my first solar system was using panels out of Cuba. And I said to the Cubans, I want you to show how you fabricate panels, because I want to use NESOL to do it in Jamaica, but not only for Jamaica, but for the entire Caribbean.
Talk to me.
So one of the aims of NESOL was to one of the aims of NESOL was for us to be able to assemble solar panels in Jamaica. And there's nothing that really stop us from doing that now when we're back in office.
So you are saying from 2014 you had the vision, you went to Cuba. And the Cubans...
One of the reasons why we started NESOL, yes.
And the Cubans are not up there, they have always been helping us. So you are saying that it is very likely that if we're going solar, we could build all those panels right here in Jamaica.
There should be no need for us to be importing panels anymore. It is simple technology and we can do it.
And with no disrespect, I am saying if Cuba can do it based on the embargo that is on Cuba, and they can build their own solar panel, then Lord man, what are we doing to ourselves?
We can more than do it. We can more than do it.
God has blessed us with sunshine 365 and a quarter days per year.
And that is going to be the solution to our energy problem. And I'm looking forward to that. And I think your listeners should be excited by the prospect of a PNP government now taking back control of this important area that is going to contribute to growth in our economy that has eluded us for the last 9 years.
I was about to let you go, Comrade Powell, but something just came back to my mind. And I have to ask you about this because there's nobody in Jamaica that knows the energy portfolio more than you.
Thank you.
Tullow Oil, or what them name now? Them not name Tullow Oil no more.
Right, but we know who we're speaking about.
United Oil Company. What is happening with this oil find? Darrell Vaz tell us that nothing goes up. Is lie, and if it is going to happen, him are going to be the first one to tell us. But we have seen multiple communications from this company that is saying that Jamaica is looking good with oil. What can you tell us?
All right. So when I was minister, having looked over all the data that was available for 30 odd years, I decided that, as usual, we're going to take the plunge, we're going to take the risk. So I went out there and promoted Jamaica as a destination for prospecting for oil and gas.
Okay.
And I was the one who signed the agreement with Tullow Oil, which later became United Oil.
And
so
gas.
That agreement that they have is not with this current government. In fact, at the time, we were in discussion with another major company, because Tullow Oil is really not a major corporation. We were in touch with Repsol, and we were on the verge of signing a similar agreement with them when the government changed, and they lost interest because they were not able to get anywhere with the negotiations. What I'm aware of, because in that agreement that I signed with Tullow Oil, the government of Jamaica wouldn't pay $1, but the company would commit to doing the remaining work, the gathering of data, and we're talking now of seismic data where you actually are able to take pictures of underground structures,
yes,
undersea structures, and out of that be able to make certain inferences. And I'm aware of those additional data that have come in that show that if those underground structures that have been shown up in the seismic work, if they have oil and or gas in them, it will be substantial amounts. Now you can't tell by just a seismic study how much oil or if there is oil or gas. But what we do have are structures that are present in Guyana, where they have had great finds, and elsewhere in the region, right? But the way the oil market is, or the way oil is established and remain underground is quite unique, because sometimes you can have seepage from one system to another system, and so it is not until you drill and go down there to determine whether you have commercial quantities,
yes,
that you'll know for sure. Now that has not yet happened. So what we have are pictures showing the structures that exist underwater, but until you drill, which is my criticism now of this government, because that agreement that I had signed in 2015 mandated that drilling would have occurred within 5 years.
And that 5 years would have been passed already.
Long time. So on day one, when we resume office, we will say to United Oil, give us a date when you're going to drill, and if not, we will have to look now to see the terms of the license and how we are going to insist and enforce those terms to be activated, so that we can know for sure whether or not the potential that exists is real by actual drilling.
So what do you say to my listeners and viewers who have been seeing all these releases and they say that they have 3D mapping and all of that, and Tullow Oil is no United Oil and Gas is saying that what they need now is investors. We heard that they got a license. The party leader was questioning the minister in the parliament about a license from NEPA, which sounds like that license has already been granted.
No, trust me on this one, because I be the one who gave them the license. I want to make sure that they perform. And when you talk about 3D drawing,
mappings, yeah,
it's the same seismic.
It's the same seismic
that I just mentioned.
Okay.
Right? So what happens is that they just go and do, for simplification, pictures. The technology now exists where you can do 3-dimensional photographs of undersea.
Yes.
And it will be able to give you depictions of what we call reservoir, because that's how the oil is naturally stored in the wells. And once you see those structures, you are very confident that something is there. But no drilling has occurred as yet,
right?
So we can't say for sure that those structures represent commercial finds. It is not until we get back into office and we insist that the drilling takes place.
All right, so
know for sure.
So the releases that we are seeing from United Oil and Gas, they are not fake releases. They are true. Right, and it is coming from them. So why would the minister tell us that nothing like that, pure lie? Why wouldn't you say like what you have said? They have done the testing and we're waiting on them to drill.
Yes, well, I don't even know if the government is aware or study the thing sufficiently to be able to speak adequately on it. So it's a simple matter.
So maybe that's why I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, it's a simple matter. Based on the license that I granted, they have done the research. The research shows that there are structures underwater that have the potential of vast amount of oil or gas.
And we hear
the only way we're going to realize the potential is
if we drill. And we heard that those are not as deep as in Guyana; they are actually pretty shallow.
It is relatively shallow, based on other finds elsewhere, like Guyana, for sure.
Sir Paul, well, anything you want to say to my listeners and viewers before you leave us this morning?
Well, I'm actually heading to a funeral now out in the country, and I suspect we might lose a little of the.
Well, we're actually wrapping up. It's just if you have anything to say to them finally, I am giving you that opportunity.
Of course.
Go ahead.
So we are about to have elections. Mr. Holness can't drag it out much longer. September is around the corner, and I don't think he would risk going into September. So we have to be on alert. We have to say to those persons who haven't voted for a while that this is an important election. One of the things that really has badly affected this country is the high cost of living, driven largely because of the high price of energy. The PNP, when we form government, if the people allow it, will put in place, we already have the plans to lower the cost of electricity and to focus on Jamaica growing once more, so that even if there is inflation, people's income will be increased sufficient for them to be able to take care of themselves and their family. Our intention is to build a middle-class society, and we have an opportunity now, and we're calling on everybody to support us as we go into this campaign.
Sir Paul, well, somebody's saying that they are doing core sampling. What is that?
We did for many years core sampling across Jamaica, and that's the reason why we are so confident that there will be deposits found once we drill. And it is really looking at the rock system, the rock structures, to see if by going down a certain distance you can pull out certain samples of the core to see if some of the features, what we call footprint towards discovery of oil and gas is present.
Mhm.
You're not going to know for sure
Until you
if
drill.
we have commercial quantities until you drill. Jamaica drilled 5 times in the past.
Oh?
And yes, and we did have what we call shows. It means that we did see evidence of oil and gas, but it was not in commercial quantities.
And
until you get to drilling where you are able to strike gold, as it were, and find commercial quantities, you can't say that you are there.
and none of the 5 times were in this area that we have mapped now.
No, these were different areas.
Okay.
And these like about 3 or so decades ago.
Okay. Sir Paul, well, I want to thank you very much. Safe travel on the road, my brother, and we'll be talking soon.
All the best.
Thanks much.
Bye-bye.
Philip Paulwell, next Minister of Energy in Jamaica. And you hear the man. Now, let me tell you something. A whole heap of people can talk and run off their mouth. But none of them can claim the achievement that Philip Paulwell claimed. Nessal was destroyed under this government. Robbery. And Nessal got mashed up. You hear the man said Nessal was supposed to do for us to build our own solar panel. Yeah? It's been years that the structures have been confirmed. At one point, it was said that 42 billion barrels were under sea. Well, now they matter about 700 billion barrel, brother. So this area is much bigger. My only thing is why the present minister dismiss it so arrogantly that nothing, and then United Island Gas is out there touting the possibilities right here in Jamaica. I couldn't let Comrade Powell go without asking him about it. You hear the man say, him give them the license. And they should have drilled already. This government is incompetent. Incompetent. Everything when them get, they mess up on it. You can believe they have not done anything to renewable energy in Jamaica for the 2 terms that they have been there, and beating up the chest about what they do and what they have done. We can talk a lot about what they have not done, how they mess up the prospect of Jamaica, bringing down our energy bill. They have, in fact, remember, Andrew Wellness promised us that he would bring the large energy companies to Jamaica so as to lower our light bill. Instead, light bill double under Andrew Wellness. So we are saying to the people of Jamaica, the PNP will bring cheaper light bill to the people of Jamaica. Now, I have always known that I was paying for the man them with a thief light. I've always known. But I never know say at 20%. That's 1/5. Divide your light bill by 5. And that is the amount you are paying for people who are showing up. Jamaicans. We can't continue so. And then, oh God, I forget to ask him about the war between Iran and Israel. What is that going to do to our energy bill? Because that is also going to do something to our energy bill, you know. If I was in the studio, I would have it written down. Some would forget to ask him that. But Comrade Paulo is at my fingertips. Every PNP is at my fingertips. Any PNP you don't want to talk to, me can get them on. Like so. Now, what it is that the Labourites are going to do going into the election, that they are running away from interviews. Because any GLP MP face me must willing to answer if he's one of the illicit 8. Got to ask. And I'm saying to all journalists, people in the 4th estate, you cannot be doing your job properly in an election season with a man saying going to be on the ballot and you don't clear him name to you. Jamaicans, Any laborite that is a patriotic Jamaican that says that they are choosing Jamaica must ask, are you under investigation for illicit enrichment? That illicit enrichment that these people are under investigation for, you know, is my money, your money. How can a man be stealing from you? Yeah? I want to come to you and say, vote for me. Hey, let me tell you something. These labor rights are a set of traitor to Jamaica. Malcolm X says that any man who chose his weight behind a political party and that party controls over 2/3 of the government and they have failed to deliver on their promises and you continue to support that administration, you are not just an invalid, but you are a traitor to your country. You are a traitor to your country. Call all of the labor right them. And me call them. When you hear them call me, no vex. And me tell them to call me. Call me. Let me talk back to head boy. Let me get back head boy upon the line. Yeah. Promise him I would call him back after I talk to Philip. So you make me get him. Because me I tell you right now. Oh, hold on. Me I tell you right now. Say the labor rights who are out there supporting Andrew Holness are a set of invalids. That me say. You are invalid. Yeah? You are traitor to Jamaica. All I know. You are traitor. If you're not asking Andrew Holness the questions. Head boy. Yes, man.
Yeah, man. I like your statement. They're in fact invalids.
Then I don't mean so. Malcolm X says so.
Yeah, man.
And Malcolm X says so. Andrew Holness promised to bring the large energy companies to Jamaica to bring down our electricity bills. Where are you on that, Mr. Holness?
And by the way, remember he made this promise when energy had the largest volatility in the world. Remember, it was the same time Peter Phillips was thinking about putting in the edge on the
Yes.
gas.
Yes.
Because of what was happening with the fluctuation. Oil was $1.70 a barrel.
Yes.
$8 a barrel.
Yes.
$100 a barrel.
Yes.
It kept on fluctuating.
Yes.
He made those statements in a period when he knowingly knew that the world prices for fuel was fluctuating. And Jonas has presided over the most steady decline in the price of oil.
But and watch what happened. At that time, we were paying between 20 and 25 cents US per kilowatt hour.
Yes.
And now we are at between 40 cents and 50 cents per kilowatt hour. You're talking about almost 100% increase.
I know Philip couldn't say to you what some of the things that need to be said as to why there has been no push by this government towards solar. Remember the first thing the JLP did when they went into office, is Lawrence Thomas, the managing director for Nesol, was charged having had over how much million, over $20 million in his house.
Yes, I remember that.
Right?
That case they try it?
Oh no. Because Lawrence Thomas is alleged a cousin of Andrew Wheatley.
Tell him. Hey.
And I'm not saying alleged because I know Lawrence is from Jamesville in Northern Clarendon.
Hey,
yeah. A lot of that Nesal money was used to campaign in 2020 in Northern Clarendon and West Clarendon, both Richard Hassan and Horace Daly, particularly Horace Daly in Northern Clarendon. Yeah. So when they come and talk about they had no plan. The plan was to raid the institution that Paul has set up so that we could have. Imagine, Colin, the powerhouse would be in regional green energy if we were to be manufacturing panels.
The man said 2014 he took people from Nesal to Cuba to say to the Cubans, teach us how to make solar panels. Because that's why I asked the question, what would stop us from manufacturing our own solar panel to build out our schools, our hospitals in Jamaica, taking them off the grid, easing the pressure on the government. You know how much of that money will go back into the council fund? Because I want to do the research of how much we are paying, how much light bill we are paying for our schools first. I want to look at our schools first. Because remember, the school them close at a certain time at night, If we have solar upon our schools, so we could have put air conditioning in our classroom them.
Of course. And a lot of the uncomfortableness in terms of learning.
Would have gone. Imagine if you can lock up the classroom them, put air conditioning in them, the hotter the sun gets, the more energy you have.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
But what you have to do, remember when you put these institutions on solar, and I know Colin spoke about it, what will happen now, it's Paul himself, when he was Minister of Energy, did a clause in the license with JPS, which says that if there's renewables available, the JPS must buy the excess.
Yeah. Net billing. Yeah.
Net billing. You can actually sell back some of what you have in the excess energy. Imagine the government selling back energy to JPS. Yeah, so it would be a massive game changer for the entire country. Yeah?
Yes.
So I don't understand, but let me tell you something. You see the Minister of Energy they have there from 2023, he is an absolute failure.
Garbage, man.
And you know the problem I have with people who don't go to school, and those who, and I'm not disrespecting people based upon, because you can never go to school and more competent. Yeah?
Yeah.
This man is incompetent at best.
And arrogant.
But hear the thing, hear the scandal.
What?
On God's earth, this minister needs to go. Minister of Transport Energy needs to go. How it is that Stuart Arthurs is who get the contract to bring in the 63 CNG buses.
What?
No, so it's Stuart Arthurs get the contract?
So, hold on. Is not the government bringing in the buses?
No, I've never, I know JUTC, and nobody can, as I say, I am the de facto, I am the People's Minister of Transport. From I understand JUTC. Yeah?
Yeah.
The days of Colin Campbell and Garnet Roper.
Yeah.
It was always the board of JUTC, the chairman and the managing director, and sometimes the minister that fly to Belgium to meet with the suppliers.
So there's no middleman no unite.
There was never a middleman. So I need to understand why it is, and look at the conflict of interest. The two persons who posed in the photograph with the minister was the managing director and another lady, which the name should sound very familiar to you. Her name was Jacqueline Stewart Leacher.
Was she at SSL?
She was the FSC board person.
FSC, but she never did. FSC, yes. FSC.
Yes, when the debacle started, she was who gave the right for SSL to go back into business. Yeah?
No, hold on. Somebody at Brand Jamaica is saying, yes, Stuart Arthur brought in the buses. No, he's saying I the one them up at Portland.
No. It is the CNG buses that they brought in. Yeah?
Oh, what you said to me, boy? I never know that.
Yeah, it's the CNG buses that they brought in. Yeah?
You mean the 60 will come this week?
Yep. Remember, because that's not telling what's happening. They test to see how they could get the private sector to do the first. Remember, I tell most of them won't go to the first bus of the donation from private sector.
Yes.
Yeah?
But that was not CNG bus. That was one of the used bus.
That was one of the used bus. But when
they
switch now, right? I am saying this is how these guys test the system. And then now they come to us telling us now that it's Stuart Arthurs bringing the bus. But that's what they published in the paper. That they see posing with the CNG buses. Yeah?
So why? And the labor rights them now ask them question here, why we have to have a middleman. So the 100 bus that came before, who brought in those?
Obviously, those 100 were negotiated by the board. Remember when them buses coming up board, I don't even know how they come. As much as I don't give much credit to Bobby. You have to give some credit to both Bobby and Mike, because those are buses that they were previously negotiated with no middleman from their ministerial time. Yeah.
So you see when the middleman go in hide people, let me tell you no what. You see the middleman have to make a profit, have to be paid. Right? And when the middleman get paid, that is now some mix to get into illicit enrichment. Because when the middleman get paid, somebody get what is called kickback. Somebody said to the middleman, I am giving you this contract, and from this contract, I want $1 billion. So work it out how you want, me $1 billion. Hello!
I can tell you what I'm hearing. I am hearing East Portland campaign fund.
I'm
not going to say anything more, because the lady we now speak of is very close to the member of parliament of East Portland. That's her body. That's her.
So we now have to ask these questions. Why the government never bring in them bus here themselves? But you know the problem, Ed boy. No labor right MP not going to talk to me. Then I go talk to Conrad O'Brien. Then I go over Andre Stevens. Then I go up Ratti. And Jeffrey, nobody think you get none neither. You not get none. Now, they will go over one place where one fatted man there, and he will not ask the pertinent question. If Dean Jackson Miller going to get an interview, they might tell him that we're not going to talk about this and we're not going to talk about that, and she will still take the interview. And if them...
When ministers come as public servants, we need to cut out this nonsense.
No, hold on. Lonesome can't even call them. So nobody write that here. Lonesome can't even call them. You must be mad. Hey, me might can't send a message and not get no response. They must be black lonesome can't send a message. Hello.
The only person lonesome has ever got to come on, right? Was touchdown. Boy, sing and skip and dance.
Tell
But on a serious note now, as we look, as I wrap up and look at this, move away from this energy. I saw some energy in Northern Children yesterday, right? But
yeah.
I am telling you, but not in Northern Children alone. I hear the Prime Minister was in Western St. Mary, Yale to be exact. And somebody called me. Nobody not tell me. Somebody called me and said, look here, looking at Yale Town.
It's pure fake pictures. Those pictures are fake and lie. Not true. I have seen pictures and they are lie. They cannot be true.
Well, let me tell you something about the candidate they have in Western St. Mary. The people of Western St. Mary have been waiting for an Omar Woodbine for over 15 years.
Oh? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
And more so over the last 10 years than anything else.
I can tell you though, boy. I go down there and I see the love that the people have for this man. You know who me see people are show love to that way there? Hubert Williams. The people of Western St. Thomas is showing a kind of love to Hubert Williams that I was expecting my Portlanders to show me. And the people were showing me too, you know. But down at Western St. Thomas and Western St. Mary, them two young men there, the people are gravitate to them. Like they are saying, they are saying, you are mine and I am yours. And that we see at Western St. Thomas and Western St. Mary.
The thing about them, Colin, they have always, if you compare Hubert and Mr. Woodbine, and even Newell and even Christopher Brown as well.
Yeah.
You realize that there's similar traits across them. Right?
Yes.
Especially Hubert Williams and Omar Woodbine. Because they have been in the community with the people, they have provided jobs for the people.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
They have proved the young people. Yeah? So the young people know them. Let me tell you something that's happening in Jamaica now. You know that this is going to be almost a repeat of 1974. You know, in 1974, Jamaica saw the highest youth vote turnout.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me see about Willie. Willie must have one. Must have one 80-inch TV on him veranda. In him yard. You know who watched that? The kids from the area. Them just go in at the man yard and just take it over and him just put up a big screen TV out there for them and say, all right, I phone that.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's and that is why you see certain people running scared. That's why they're running so fast to cut ribbon and restart projects, because they're trying to funnel money in these consequences.
Yes.
But what they don't know, Colin, is that the people have left them.
Yes. Yes.
I said to somebody, the last election in 2020 was run on Andrew Holmes, meaning Andrew Holmes of the strength of.
No, it was run on his clerks.
Well, yes, and his clerks.
Yes.
But his persona, his own war, was the meat of the election.
And you know what is going to happen? He's going to be one of the reasons why they lose, you know. He's going to be a big part of the reason.
You know, the Achilles heel.
Yes. Yes.
He was then his strength. So look at it. Within 5 years, less than 5 years, yeah, of you voting for a man that was said to be more popular, because the polls were saying they were trying to give him popularity, more popularity than Portia and Michael Mann, you know.
Yes.
They were inventing him in 2020, you know.
Bro God.
No, bro God, and all of this fluff is over, as they would say in certain places of the world. The Marby, all the mob is all fraud, but no mob. Yeah?
Yes.
They just jump up and make all this noise. And now the people of Jamaica see that this guy, he really don't have no. When you look at this thing, and JIS needs to be real with us, Colin. Imagine a prime minister puts in his history, in what he expects in his future events, to be assassinated by a close friend. Huh? What
is that? I don't understand. What you just say?
Okay. Do you know that there is, when you have the high school, you know, because you have children going high school, at the end of the almost ending grade 11,
yeah,
they do a yearbook.
Yes.
With them.
Yes.
And they put what your pet name, what your ambition is to become,
yeah,
what the pet peeves people have about you, and what you think might happen to you in the future.
Yeah.
Andrew is this thing in St. Catherine High School yearbook. Put that he will be placed in it, that he believes he will be assassinated by a close friend, and he put his ambition to be a politician.
You see that yourself? You see that yourself?
I have seen it myself.
Send it to me, boy. I want to see that. Yeah. Celine Browning is saying, yes, it is in his yearbook.
It's in his yearbook.
Tala. Hold on.
So this
guy, good as he's saying, in ground in Western St. Mary to build primary school?
Yes, that was what I was going to talk to you. So up in Jeffreytown, when he go up there, he promised the people in a deal, we're going to fix the school at Jeffreytown. The school in Jeffreytown has been in a deplorable condition for over 10 years now. Right? But why am I do that? It's because Jeffreytown falls in the Carnal division. Yeah? Yeah. Well, let me give you more history. The candidate springs from Jeffreytown for the PNP.
Omar Woodbine?
Yeah? Omar Woodbine, yes. Remember, he's from the hills, you know.
Yeah? Yes.
And that's where his family background is from. So what I'm trying to do now is to see if they could do something in Jeffreytown, because they
for neutralize. So them might try neutralize it, but it's too late. Ed boy, if Andrew, you see, all the way Andrew tried to this year right now, if Andrew did try to them there in 2023, he would have a platform for run pan now. May I tell you?
We wouldn't have anything to campaign on.
But they suffer the Jamaican people, suffer them to now come to them and say, here I am to save you. And that's why we keep repeating the Bob Marley song from where they. We see them fighting for power, but they know not the power. So they come bribing. And Bob Marley said it on me. Him said they come bribing with their guns, spare parts, and money, trying to belittle your integrity. They say that what we know is only what they teach us. And then some laborites so ignorant that every time they can reach us through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you have to get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. The song is entitled Ambush in the Night. Go listen it from Bob Marley. Ed boy, a little more. Thanks for the call this morning, teaching the people them. Yes, man. Blessings. My people, it has been a morning of 2 shows because we have to sort out them trying to hack it and get at us. Yes, hot off the press as a copy of the yearbook page. Please, I'd love to see that myself. But then they say one prime minister head I go roll down whichever street, you know. Yeah. Bob Marley for national hero. May I tell you? That song is sassafras. Know the song all along, you know, but you know, sometimes we just play some song and dance, we don't listen deep. And sassafras said to me one day, youth, I rate you, you're brave and everything, but you have to listen to Ambush in the Night. And immediately I go listen to the song. Rotted. We see them fighting for power, but they know not the hour. See it, Andrew, fight for power. And every time him a fight for power, him say PNP power hungry. Desmond Mackenzie say him now surrender Jamaica to the PNP ever again. And him say PNP are going like a PNP own Jamaica. You know, see say them man here a peer trick knowledge them a use. So they come bribing, running around the country now, come bribing. Some of them are carrying gun, spare parts, and money, trying to belittle your integrity. Then him your Andrew say, we uninformed. Is what Bob Marley say. They say that what we know is just what they teach us. So him feels say we uninformed. But we are so ignorant that every time they can reach us, using this political strategy now, running up and down, breaking ground, trying to belittle our integrity. Up to 2024, 12,400 Jamaicans got murdered. But this year now, election year, they are telling us that under 700 people go and get murdered. Trying to belittle our integrity. Because every time they can reach us, through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you want to get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Ambush in the Night. I want to thank everybody for listening. Those of you who are on and come on back. You know, we're not in the studio this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yes, man, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, quickly, because I've been trying to get you from morning. There's 2 things I want to say to you, but first and foremost, right, I want to know how people like Marlon Morgan and the Prime Minister and his surrogates going to spin this, because I hear that the economy is doing well and it can't and all of these things. So my question to you, I was listening to the news and I see some of the public sector workers went to their meeting for wage bargain.
Brother.
So I am thinking here that if the economy is doing well, you're supposed to can offer me something in return.
For year one. For year one.
The Minister of Finance, how can you put something and say you're going to give them 0%? Isn't it better you tell them, say, we can't give you anything instead of tell them, say, you can give them 0%?
And then I don't like how it come on the news. Because it come on the news say an increase of 0%. What kind of garbage is that?
Exactly.
What kind of garbage is that?
So, how does you correlate both the economy is doing well, but yet still you can't pay a person who are doing human service for your country?
That will show the people that Andrew Holness is a liar. Lie. Liar.
No, it's one of two things. I would say that. It's either he's lying or he does not care about the person, the people.
I don't say.
Remember now.
Go ahead.
They didn't give themselves a 300% increase.
Boom.
So more than likely, I would say he not care about the people then.
No.
That's the message I would take on.
But he's lying to the people by telling us that the economy is doing well. He's lying to the people of Jamaica.
Wouldn't it be better to accept and come to the people and say, people, we are going through a difficult process, but what? Is it because of political expediency?
That's what you would expect, that they would come and be honest with the people and say that we are having a problem. We are having a problem, but because they've been running off their mouth, and when people like Ralston and myself keep saying to Jamaicans, watch the trajectory of the economy. Stop listening to clowns. Listen to the numbers coming out of the Bank of Jamaica. Listen to the numbers coming out of Statting. Listen to the financial reports and listen to the number coming out of the stock market. And you will understand that the economy is failing. If we're not producing, my brother, you can't grow.
So why is Nigel now is pivoting different than when he's, I tell a man no. When a man doing a position now, he can say anything now. Look how Nigel is talking now. When he was in that position, he wasn't looking at, because he realized that he can't go to the IMF with this kind of foolish behavior or this kind of nonsensical conversation. Now he's saying something that I hear Ralston have been saying. I've been listening to the Financial Business for 106 for long. I've listened to Ralston for the last umpteen of years. But yet still, nobody can bring to the table to say what he's saying is false. That is what I can't understand, why the JLP narrative is more than I said, Ralston is this, that, and the PNP.
Yeah, but Carla, understand this. Ralston is this and that because him can't take on Ralston argument. I'm going to take our next call here. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello, good morning.
Morning, what's up?
Junior, what go on, bro?
Go on, hear the achievements of your friend, you know.
Who that? Mike, run it, Junior, run it.
Crime, corruption, COVID, and Clifton.
Clifton, you mean the bulldozing of the house?
The bulldozing of the houses. Achievement.
Those are the
corruption, COVID, and Clifton.
crime, COVID, corruption, and Clifton.
Yeah.
All right, Junior, big up yourself.
One thing before I go.
Yes.
The reason why they mash up JUTC was to buy 100 buses one time.
So,
Remember, you know?
so a piece of food can eat. Tell her. Yes. Yeah.
And lastly, Malcolm X said, anytime you throw your weight,
They are in a political party and they control 2/3 and they feel
can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time.
yes.
And you're dumb enough to go around continuing to support that party. You're a traitor to your race.
Little more, Junior. Right there, saw it there. Right there, saw it there, my brother. So, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with a man supporting his party. But when your party failing the country, you must choose Jamaica. And that is one thing I agree with the Labour Party. Choose Jamaica. And if you are choosing Jamaica, you cannot choose the man who can show away how him get so rich. I want to thank everybody this morning. It has been a rough show. It has been a very rough show this morning. With the technology and being out of the studio. It's been a rough show, but we got through it. So I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Comrade Philip Paulwell for coming on this morning and showing the people of Jamaica who should be the next Minister of Energy and Technology. Philip Paulwell. A man with a record. All right, let me take one more before we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Colin.
Yes, morning.
So that is why at the meetings we need to focus on the JLP last prospectus and show the things that they have not achieved.
May I listen, your man?
Because what Malcolm X said can be highlighted in that way.
Yes.
Every time we have a meeting, I like the things that he has not achieved.
And quote Malcolm X. All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks. Yeah.
I want to congratulate you to how you dealt with the JP guy last on Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
When he comes with you eat all for 6 weeks.
Yeah, man. We want them to come here. We want them to come here, because when you scroll TikTok, them over TikTok I tell pure lie. And then the people them will watch them and follow them on TikTok don't have the facts. So when they come over here now and tell the lie, we debunk them right in front of them face and give them the truth. And when you give them the truth, and you say to them, because you remember one of them they tell me about me I give you that. I say me no want nothing from you. It's either me I talk truth or me I tell lie. But we talk again. The thing no sound so good. So make we talk again. All right. Yeah, man, we want them to come over here so we can beat up them ball. Because, as I tell you, Chris, labor right and truth no have no lot in our part. So when they come to Portland Spice TV, them ball get beat up. I know most of my listeners don't like here when Marlon gonna talk, but we show the rubbish in our argument. You understand? Because when we ask him questions, him don't answer the questions. Him come with a talking point. And the people who follow this channel are all intelligent people. Except the trolls them will come to try disrupt and deflect. So Portland Spice TV should beat all of them ball. Portland Spice TV is not a PNP channel. It's a channel for everybody. It's just that the host is a PNP. He's a member of the People's National Party. But for the last 54 years, I have been chosen Jamaica. So we put Jamaica first. So if PNP come in a power and a mess up like this your Labour government, this your money are going to beat them bad. So I want PNP to know that. I'm not going to come by here come tell no lie for PNP. So PNP who are plan for farm government better know that this same whip will over the Labour right back. If them come under the rubbish, this same whip will be over their back. I have beaten them before. And that's why certain man not like I. And I now look no likings from no guy. I pray to Jesus Christ. And that's where I look my favors from. Because if you are the leader and you're not lead, if you are the MP and you're not deliver, if you are the councillor and you're not deliver, I am going to call you out. So when you war me, God you war. So if you war me and you think you win, hey, Eternal say they think that they have won, but we are all a meditation. Tell you that. So, my people, I want to thank you now again. Thank Philip Paulwell and thank Head Boy for the school. Yeah, man. Michael Manley said the leader should stay close to the people and be humble. Be humble, sir. So, thank everybody. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you have not gotten anybody to subscribe to the channel for me, I'm asking you to become a Portland Spice ambassador. Share the channel with everybody in your link. Yeah? And ask them to subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. I would love to get there before Tuesday. One love, my people. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again, peace, one love.